I still remember that afternoon as if it just happened yesterday. It was a quiet Sunday, and I had taken my daughter, Lily, out for lunch. We didn't go out often because of her condition. Lily was born with cerebral palsy, and she needed a wheelchair and help with almost everything. I'd always been careful about where we went, making sure the place was comfortable for her. That day, though, I decided to take her somewhere new, a little diner on the edge of town. It didn't look fancy, small, old-fashioned, with a big window that let in the sunlight. Something about it felt warm. I wanted Lily to experience something different. The place wasn't busy, just a few people scattered around. We took a table by the window. Lily loved watching the cars pass by. I could see her eyes light up every time a bright-colored one drove past. Our waitress came over with a smile that seemed to reach her eyes. Her name tag said Sarah. "Good afternoon. What can I get you too?" she asked. I ordered a simple meal for myself and something soft for Lily. When the food came, I started to help Lily eat, but before I could begin, she started coughing. She sometimes struggled with swallowing. I grabbed a napkin and patted her back gently. It wasn't anything new, but I still felt that old sting of sadness in my chest. When I looked up, Sarah was standing there, holding a tray, watching quietly. I thought maybe she was uncomfortable, the way most people are when they see Lily struggle. But she just set the tray down, walked over, and knelt beside my daughter. "It's okay, sweetheart," she said softly, her voice calm and kind. She picked up the spoon and waited until Lily smiled again. "Let's take it slow, okay?" I watched her feed my daughter, gently, patiently, as if Lily was her own child. There was no pity in her eyes, only tenderness. I didn't say a word for a while. I just watched. My throat tightened, and I had to look away for a moment. People often looked at Lily and me with sympathy or discomfort. But this young woman, she just saw a child who needed care. When we finished the meal, I thanked her. She smiled, brushed it off, and said, "She's a beautiful girl. I used to help take care of my little brother. He had muscular dystrophy. I kinda miss it sometimes." Her eyes went distant for a second, and I realized that behind her warm smile, she carried her own pain. We left the diner, but I couldn't stop thinking about her. That night, I sat in my office, a big, polished room that usually made me feel proud. I was a successful man, a millionaire by most people's standards. But that day I felt small. Here I was, surrounded by everything money could buy, yet a waitress who probably made minimum wage had shown more grace, love, and humanity in 10 minutes than I had in years. A week later, I went back to the diner. Sarah was there again, carrying a tray, smiling at every customer like she meant it. After we ate, I asked if she had a few minutes to talk. She looked surprised, but said yes. We sat at a corner booth. I told her who I was, not to impress her, but to be honest. I said, "I own a few companies. Real estate mostly. I've done well. But what I saw last week, how you treated my daughter, it reminded me what kindness really looks like." She blushed, tried to laugh it off. I was just doing what anyone would do. "No," I said quietly. "Not everyone would." I asked her about her life. She told me she worked double shifts to pay for nursing school. Her brother had passed away 2 years earlier. He wanted to be a nurse, she said, smiling sadly. So I decided I'd do it for both of us. Something inside me shifted then. 2 days later, I met with the board of my foundation. the one I'd set up years ago but hadn't paid much attention to. I told them I wanted to create a new scholarship for people studying nursing, especially those who cared for disabled or terminally ill patients. I named it after Sarah's brother. When I went back to the diner and handed Sarah the papers, she thought it was a joke. "You're serious?" she whispered, her hands trembling. "I am," I said. "You helped my daughter without expecting anything. Let me help you, and others like you, do what you were meant to do." Tears filled her eyes. She hugged me, right there in the middle of that little diner. Years later, Sarah graduated with honors. She now runs a care center for children with disabilities. She still visits us sometimes, bringing Lily flowers and talking to her for hours. Every time I see them together, I realize something. Kindness doesn't come from wealth, power, or education. It comes from the heart. And sometimes, the smallest act of compassion can change not just one life, but many.